Hello everyone, my name is Kim Min-ji and I'm here to talk about the story Walk to the Moons. At the beginning of Walk to the Moons, Sal is going to visit her mother's grave with her grandparents. Her mother's grave is in Lewiston, Idaho, which means Sal and her grandparents have to travel a long distance. So, because of Graham and Gramp's suggestion, Sal begins a story in the car about her friend Phoebe. Phoebe has a very wild imagination. She believes that every person is either an axe murderer or a lunatic. One day, when Phoebe is playing with Sal, one mysterious man comes and asks for Phoebe's mother. Phoebe lies that her mother is in the house. However, when the lunatic, as Phoebe said that he's a lunatic, asks to see Mrs. Winterbottom, Phoebe's mother, Phoebe says that she is busy right now. So, the next day that she said that, there was a mysterious note in Phoebe's home porch. It said, "Don't judge a man until you've walked 2 moons on his moccasins." After that, Phoebe tells Sal about her wild imagination and her theories. First theory is that Mrs. Cadver, also known as Margaret, had murdered Mr. Cadver. She says this because Mrs. Cadver means dead body. Also, she thinks that her voice sounds like dead leaves blowing around. So, after hearing Phoebe's explanation, Sal is convinced by it. Now, she too became very doubtful and started thinking that Mrs. Cadver chopped down Mr. Cadver with the help with Mr. Berkway, their English teacher. Also, there's a character named Ben. Ben is classmate of Phoebe and Sal. Sal thinks that Ben likes her. Ben actually, as Sal said, kissed her collarbone. And Ben tells Phoebe and Sal very crucial information, that they flinch when other people touch them. However, Ben and Phoebe does not know about Sal's secret about her mother, that her mother is dead. Sal doesn't tell them this because she too partly believes that her mother is alive. Also, she doesn't want them to know. One day, Phoebe's mother disappears, leaving note that she will go on a trip. Phoebe believes that she is either kidnapped or murdered by the lunatic. So, after a few weeks, Phoebe and Sal goes to the police to tell the police officers that her mother might be kidnapped or murdered by someone. However, Sal sees the photo. Sal saw the photo at Sergeant Pico's desk the photo of the lunatic. So they found out, asking Sergeant Pickle what college that lunatic attends in. After that, they go visit the lunatic's college. There, they find her, Mrs. Winterbottom, Phoebe's mother, kissing, actually the cheek, but kissing with the lunatic. The next day, Phoebe's mother and the lunatic comes to Phoebe's house. When Mr. Winterbottom, her dad, Phoebe's dad, Prudence, Phoebe's sister, and Phoebe sees Mrs. Winterbottom introducing Mike, the lunatic as the name of Mike. She said that Mike was her hidden son. She had before she met Mr. Winterbottom. She was very agitated with herself because she thought that she was not being as respectable as her family. Though Mr. Winterbottom, Prudence, and Phoebe first mistrusted Mike and Mrs. Winterbottom, they decided to accept Mike as their family later on. As Sal and Phoebe was going out, they saw Mrs. Partridge, Mrs. Catford's mom, putting the mysterious messages on Phoebe's porch. So, both mysteries are solved. Who the lunatic was, and who was putting the mysterious messages on Phoebe's porch. Like this, Sal finishes her story. However, during the trip to Idaho with her grandparents, her grandmother got bitten by a snake. She was fine first when she first went to the hospital. However, later on, Gram didn't move, and doctor said she was shocked. Because of that, Saul knew that they couldn't achieve her plan to get to her mother's grave before her mother's birthday. So, because she was taught how to drive by her grandfather, she drove her grandfather's Chevrolet all the way from the hospital to Lewiston, Idaho. However, she was caught before she reached her mother's grave by the police. Fortunately, the police officer took her to her mother's grave. After that, after Saul visits there, he brings Saul back to the hospital. However, Saul discovers that grandmother is dead. Because of that, and as Saul saw her mother's grave, Saul's grandfather and Saul returns to Euclid. Miraculously, her father decides to go back, live on a farm with Saul at Kentucky Bybanks. Though Saul misses her friends, Sal and Phoebe and Ben are keeping contact, and guess what? Ben and Sal became a couple. The end.